Hello, my name is Nancy. I'm an educator, a lifelong learner, a gardener, a retired teacher, a mother, and a grandmother. And I'm also the author of this newly published book, Keeping Kids and Teens Safe and Happy, Helpful Tips for Parents and Grandparents. And I wrote this book because I was greatly upset a few years ago when I moved to Connecticut and I read about and heard about some accidental child drownings. And I said, I have to do something about that. I wanted to bring attention to this crisis. And I kept thinking about it, and that's how this book came to be. But this book took on a life of its own, because then I started reading and researching, and I realized there's many avoidable, preventable accidents. And I want to bring light to many of those. And so each show, this TV series is based on this book, and during each show, I will talk about one topic from the front of the book, which is keeping kids safe, and another topic from part 2, keeping kids and teens engaged, healthy, and happy. And so I'm also going to include in this series a little bit about my growing up in Brooklyn, some human interest stories, because some of the topics we're going to talk about and discuss are difficult to hear about. They're not easy. They weren't easy for me to write about these topics. As a matter of fact, I realized that I couldn't write after 5 p.m., and I guess you could understand why that was. Because if I wrote after 5 p.m., I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. And so it was difficult, and it's sometimes difficult to hear these topics. So that's why I thought I'd also include some human interest stories. And I started in other shows talking about growing up in Brooklyn, New York, in the Old Mill Basin section of Brooklyn, which was a very middle-class neighborhood, very diverse, and how much I love that. I grew up in a 2-family house filled with Italian-American family members. We had neighbors who were like family and friends to us. And we had other relatives from all over Brooklyn who visited often. And food and storytelling and laughter and fun were all part of my experience growing up. It was a wonderful experience. And interestingly, when I was thinking about what to talk about today for the human interest part of the show, I thought about bread, because bread was a really big, important part of our lives in Brooklyn. And we were very fortunate that we had nearby a great bakery called Moretti's Bakery, which was located on Avenue N in Brooklyn. And if you ever go to Brooklyn and you're in that area of Old Mill Basin, you should really stop by there. It's still there. It's been there for decades. So growing up in an Italian-American family, bread was an important part of every meal. Bread is used by Italians and others as a source of sustenance, but it also enhances Italian meals. Italians like to take bread and use it to soak up leftover sauce or gravy on a dish. In Italian culture, bread is a symbol of hospitality. When I was growing up, there was always extra pasta and extra bread for every meal. And the reason was, if unexpected guests arrived, they were always fed. That's part of the Italian hospitality and traditions. And whether they were guests from other parts of Brooklyn or neighbors or relatives, they were always fed and brought into the family fold. We were very fortunate on East 52nd Street that we had this delicious bakery, as I said, on Avenue N. And they have the most delicious rolls and seeded twists and other bread varieties. Those breads were a part of my childhood memories. And on holidays, you had to get to Moretti's early in the morning and wait online because everyone wanted the bread. There were long lines. It's world-class bread. So why exactly do you think Moretti's has world-class bread? Well, some people believe it's because of the water. And if you ask New Yorkers, they'll always tell you the reason the pizza dough, the bread, and the bagels in New York City are so good is because of the water. And the water is considered the champagne of tap water. And where does that water come from? Well, interestingly enough, it comes from the Catskill Mountains and the Hudson River Valley. And I'm familiar with those reservoirs because when my children were young, I used to spend summers with them in the Catskill Mountains. And so I'm familiar with the Papacton Reservoir and the Ashokan Reservoir. I've seen them. They're pristine. And so that's why people think New York has such great bread and water, and pizza dough, because of those reservoirs. So it's an amazing water system, and the water is brought from the mountains to New York City through tunnels and aqueducts. I still miss Moretti's bread. If you're ever in Brooklyn, stop by. You won't be disappointed. Bread is nurturing and it's delicious. And it's not only a part of Italian culture, it's a part of many other cultures as well. Now I'm going to be talking about a topic from the first part of the book, accidents from falling. I'm going to read from the book. The harsh truth is that falls are dangerous and the leading cause of injury to children. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 8,000 children are injured every day in the United States from falls. Approximately 2.2 million children under the age of 14 are treated in hospital emergency rooms every year for injuries due to falling. Be especially mindful when children are playing on playground equipment, walking up and down stairs, and be attentive to clutter, such as toys or gadgets left on the floor. Safety gates should be installed at the top and bottom of stairs when you have young children. Staircases should have banisters on each side. Remind children to hold on to banisters as they go up and down stairs and never to run or play on stairs or landings. Children as well as adults trip over rugs. Always make sure rugs are secured to the floor with rug pad grippers or non-slip rug pads. Thousands of injuries are caused each year, and some are serious, from tripping over a pet, especially a dog. Dog walking can also cause injuries. Children or adults can be pulled by a dog or fall over a dog's leash, so be very careful if you have a dog when walking your dog. Wet floors can cause slips and falls, especially in the bathroom or kitchen. Once again, I stress you have to install shower and bath non-slip mats or anti-slip shower decals to prevent slipping. If you or someone else washes the floors in your home, make sure no one walks on wet floors until they are dry. Babies or young children can fall off of couches, bed, chairs, or changing tables if they are not carefully watched. Jumping on beds, which is a favorite of children, can cause injury. Parents are aware that when shopping with babies or toddlers, they have to be secured in a shopping cart. Children fall off of bicycles, scooters, skateboards, which is why helmets are so important. Helmets are crucial. Emergency room doctors frequently treat children who fall off of bikes, scooters, and skateboards and suffer broken bones, sprains, or head trauma, and this is even more common now with e-bikes. Children may lack coordination or motor skills for a specific activity, and that increases the chances for falls. Trampolines can be great fun for children and teens, but they can also cause injury, so they have to be watched carefully on trampolines. Tragically, the most dangerous falls, which can be fatal, are when a child falls out a window or off a deck or balcony. If you have a high deck or balcony at home, be extra vigilant. And when on vacation or visiting others, always make sure that they are watched if there is a balcony or high deck. All windows, which are 6 feet or more from the ground outside, should have child safety devices or window guards installed. Child-proof locks can be installed on windows so they cannot be opened by children. And when visiting others, always check if there are windows open, and if you don't feel comfortable and there's a window open, then ask them to close the window if possible. Now this is important, especially now in the Northeast where I live, but also in the northern parts of the country. Ice is very, very dangerous, ice and snow. Slipping, tripping, or falling on ice or snow injuries approximately injure 1 million Americans every year, according to the CDC. Falls on ice or snow can be fatal. Always make sure doorways, walkways, and driveways are de-iced and avoid walking on ice or snow-covered streets. Winter boots should have excellent traction. When I lived on Long Island, I, a few times, slipped on black ice. Black ice is a thin, transparent layer of ice that forms on dark surfaces. It's difficult to detect. Before I even knew what was happening, I was flying through the air. This happened a couple of times to me, but luckily I did not get hurt. So be very, very careful in wintertime on snow and ice. And now a sad story. My son's best friend, Michael, died from a fall a few years ago, and it was devastating for my son, who lost his best friend. It was also devastating for this family that lost their son. And it was tragic. It happened while he was on vacation, in a vacation rental. I don't know all the particulars, but he was in a foreign country. And so you have to, when traveling, you have to be very, very careful that they have the same standards if you rent a house or a rental that we do in the United States. So I highlighted that story because it does happen. And this was a young man. He was in his 30s. And so you have to be very, very careful about falls. They're very dangerous. So now I'm going to talk about something from the second part of the book. And I just want to review some of the things that I've talked about in the past. The importance of being out in sunshine and getting vitamin D from the sun. It's very, very healthy to take early morning walks when it's sunny. Also, the benefits of nature. Nature can be very calming for human beings, and even 5 minutes in nature makes a difference. So take children for walks in nature, in parks, and that will be very good for their mental well-being. I also spoke about gratitude and being grateful and how important it is to be grateful. And now today I'm going to talk about the benefits of laughter. And this poem was written by William Blake. He was an English poet, a painter, and a mystic. It's called The Laughing Song. When the green woods laugh with the voice of joy, and the dimpling stream runs laughing by, when the air does laugh with our merry wit, and the green hill laughs with the noise of it, when the meadows laugh with lively green, and the grasshopper laughs in the merry scene, when Mary and Susan and Emily with their sweet round mouths sing ha ha he, when the painted birds laugh in the shade, when our tables with cherries and nuts is spread, come live and be merry and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha ha he. Don't underestimate the power of laughter to heal, improve mood, lessen anxiety, create positivity, as well as lighthearted moments. It can help put things in perspective. Laughter gives us hope and has many physical and mental health benefits. Share a laugh with others and it will fill you with joy, contentment, and a sense of belonging. Laughter relaxes your body, muscles relax when you laugh, and boosts your immune system. Laughter releases endorphins, which helps make you feel less stressed and gives you feelings of well-being. Laughter can give you a change of perspective, seeing a situation in a different and less serious way. It can reduce tension and help with conflict resolution. Humor can be used to get over resentments and calm down disagreements. With all the advantages, it's important to find time in your family for fun. There is even a scripture verse in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, encouraging us to have a joyful heart. A joyful heart is the health of the body, but a depressed spirit dries up the bones, from Proverbs 17. A joyful heart is the health of the body, but a depressed spirit dries up the bones. So what can you do? Watch a family together, watch a comedy together as a family and laugh. Allow children to be silly and laugh about it. Borrow joke books from the library and share funny, humorous jokes, and keep a record of the ones you like. Look for funny things to laugh about and recall them often. When I was growing up and something funny happened in our family, we would laugh about it, but then we would keep retelling that story and we would laugh over and over again. We still laugh years later, recalling funny episodes and skits my Aunt Connie did to make us laugh and hysterical jokes she told. Just her personality could be humorous. She was a funny lady. She was the matriarch of our Italian family. My brother Arthur got his sense of humor and his wit from my Aunt Connie. But she was also very compassionate. I remember, and it struck me as a child, that her friend lost his job, and she conferred with the family, and it was decided that he would be allowed to live in our finished basement until he got on his feet. And that's what she said. She said he was going to move in, live in the basement until he got another job. And that's just what happened. He stayed for a few months until he got another job, and then he left. And that taught me compassion. My Aunt Connie never read a book about social justice, probably never heard a sermon about it either. But she knew what the right thing to do was, that you help people when they're down and out. I'm not a good joke teller at all. But there's one joke that I think is very cute, and I always tell people. It's the only one I know. And this is it. How do you make holy water? You have to boil the hell out of it. So I think that's a cute joke. So now I'm going to ask you to visit my website, which is a work in progress, keepingkidsandteensafeandhappy.com. I have a good recipe for homemade chicken soup, and I plan to add more nutritious recipes as time goes on. So it's a good place for you to get also my email if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions or ideas for this show, please email me and I would be happy. I will definitely respond to you. I'm also have been making some TikTok videos, which I never thought I would do, but I'm very passionate about this book, and so I've even been doing TikTok videos, which I'm finding to be very interesting because there are so many people who are responding positively to the book and to the videos, and that's actually making me very happy. So that's unexpected joy that's come from writing this book. And I would just, each show I'm going to end with some thoughts and blessings. Please read the special dedication at the end of this show. My book and this TV series is dedicated to children. Some final thoughts and hope for all of us. May I live with peace, and may you live with peace. May I live with goodness, and may you live with goodness. May I be kind to others, and may you be kind to others. May I be a healing presence for others, and may you be a healing presence for others. May you find meaning and purpose, and may I find meaning and purpose. May I remember to be grateful, and may you remember to be grateful. I would like to thank Western Connecticut Community TV for their training and support. Thank you for watching this show. See you next time.